to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Lining, and Todd Griffin.
Good evening. Episode 191 of the Play By Ear podcast. I'm still. How you doing, partner?
Well, howdy one and all. Salute.
Salute. I'm still bothered by the chunkiness of the going from the countdown to the intro video. I can't deal.
The clunkiness.
It bothers me. Hello, Samantha.
Samantha.
Welcome. And I tried to get on and fix where my counter went, but I don't know where. I can't fix it. I got to work on it a little bit. This Streamlabs is just infinite. The things you can do with it. And I haven't even scratched the surface of it. Anywho. Enough about all the technological nonsense. Again, welcome to episode 191 of the Play By Ear podcast. Wearing an Oasis shirt. Pretentious. I don't know who's more pretentious, Oasis or you two.
Oh, two of my favorites, man. Easy.
Exactly.
Oh.
Point made.
That hurt.
If I have to pick, I'm definitely
things thrown at me tonight.
If I have to pick, I'm definitely picking U2, although I could stand to never hear another U2 song as long as I live.
Yeah. So I was listening to someone else and they were talking about how pretentious U2 was. Some other podcast.
I don't know if U2 is pretentious as this just Bono.
Well, if you allow the pretentiousness, then U2 are pretentious.
He was an earnest young man, but now he's became kind of a parody of, he's a good guy, but he just needs to shut it.
He became that in 1985. So don't act like it just happened. 1985 is when that happened. Maybe in 1981 they were, whatever, but no. The pomposity came in 1985-ish. So there you go.
Just I'm not a fan of the pandering. Just write some rock and roll songs. It doesn't have to all be about all the world's problems. Had a band open one time, played before us, and every other song was up pandering to some sort of group. This next song is for anyone who's ever been yelled at. This next song is for anyone who's ever felt less than wanted. This next song.
So in other words,
the people will pick up on it.
Everybody. In other words.
Yes. Yeah.
This is for the free range hedgehogs.
Thank you, Samantha. Had the cataract taken care of. Actually, I had one of my cataracts taken care of. I got one in the right eye too, but it doesn't bother me so much right now. I'll eventually have it taken care of, but it's not pressing. But the amazing thing in my left eye now, I'm seeing 20/20, but it is a light adjustable lens is what it's called. So right now I need these reading glasses to read small print. I don't need them now, but they can tweak the shape of the lens by shooting UV light into it, and eventually I won't need reading glasses. It'll just be all wonderful vision.
Technological advancement.
So my corpse may look horrible, but I'll be able to see until I die. So there you go. There's something. All right.
Caden, welcome back.
Historian is with us. Todd's boss is with us.
The historian.
And Caden. Yes. It goes well, sir. How about you? All right. If you've not been with us before, here's where you can find us. Facebook, X, Instagrams, or social media platforms. Listen and watch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, Rumble,
Twitch.
and iHeartRadio and the iHeartRadio app. And I found 2 other platforms that are supported by our software. I've never heard of them. Maybe some of our audience peruses those. One is called Kick.
K-I-K, K-I-C-K, K-I-Q-U-E. How do you spell it?
K-I-C-K is
Oh,
how
okay.
that's spelled. And then there's another one called Trovo.
T-R-O-V-O, T-R-O-V-O-W, T-R-O-V-O-U-G-H.
T-R-O-V-O, no, T-R-O-V-E-A-U-X.
T-R-E-A-U-X, T-R-A, what, shit. I was trying to double it up. I lost track. Yeah, T-R-A-U-E-X, V-R-O-A-U-E-X.
There you go.
That reminds me of how we used to our friend Doug, whenever the cheerleaders at a basketball game would go, that cheer, that R-O-W-D-I-E, that's the way we spell rowdy, and he would be R-O-W-D-E-E, that's the way we spell rowdy.
No one spells rowdy that way. And
Nope.
if you advertise that you spell rowdy that way,
You are
then
mistaken.
you are advertising that you are not a good speller. That's my take on that. Celia, you are a cheerleader. What's your take on that? Do you still spell rowdy, R-O-W-D-I-E, or did you graduate beyond that?
She also is a notoriously bad speller. Just throwing that out there.
Well, Samantha has some input. She was in cheerleading, and where'd that comment go? Hasn't popped up on that end yet. She was aggravated by the spelling of. So did you protest? Did you quietly quit that cheer? Did you say that's the way they spell rowdy? That's the way I would do it. Quietly.
But
quit.
I digress. Put that into the cheer.
Well, no, I don't think you wrote the cheer. I mean, it's like all those squads do that. I think they still do it today, as a matter of fact.
Who writes cheers?
I don't know. Who wrote the first? It's like, who writes jokes? I always thought that jokes always started in California. I'm not sure why that is.
I like to think we write a lot of them.
Yeah,
we make them better.
We do.
I've actually put pen to paper on a few jokes, but
everybody knows the first cheer was rah, rah, ree, kick him in the knee, rah, rah, ras, kick him in the other knee. That's the first cheer. And probably the best cheer.
The one that always intrigued me, and this, I swear to God, this just jumped in my head over the weekend because I was listening to my Beach Boys playlist in honor of the great Brian Wilson. And that song, their hit, Be True to Your School, where it has the cheerleaders in the background. And I want to know the origins of Ra Ra Sis Boom Ba.
Yeah, what is Sis Boom Ba?
Yeah. So anyway,
is that akin to can only spell banana because of the Gwen Stefani song? Otherwise, you don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
B-A-N-A-N-A. B-A-N-A-N-A. Yeah, B-A-N-A.
Just listen to Gwen.
Thank you.
So some cheers you learn from elders. So some of these cheers have been passed down for decades, just from one cheer squad to the other.
I just see somebody dressed like the prophet Elijah going, Sis Boom Ba. It was passed down by the elders.
Carved on stone tablets.
Yes.
I think the first cheer was, we have spirit. Yes, we do. We have spirit. How about you?
Yeah.
I think what you said, Todd, was the second one.
I would say fight, 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 or go team might be the original cheer. That's not an imaginative answer, but I think it probably started out somewhere. We got to say something.
That's just a statement. That's not a cheer.
Okay.
A cheer has more breadth to it than just
the third one was
statement.
The third one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My name's Todd and I say hi. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back it up and do it again. And then that was the first in length cheer. That was the first one that took stacking. That was some scaffolding.
That's the cheer equivalent of 99 beers on the wall.
Yes. The other one I always wondered about was rebound that basketball. Well, what else are they going to rebound? Relationships? Credit rating? I don't know. You got to rebound something and hope it's the basketball.
Well, and then some cheers, and I can only pick on the Eastern ones because that's really the only. That's what I have the most. That's what I have the most experience.
Intimate experience.
Some of them also became not really cheers. The tribe is in the house. Who, which the ball players renamed it. We are a bunch of owls. Who.
Nice.
Because why would tribes be saying who?
I thought they were saying something to the equivalent of woot woot or whoop whoop.
I don't think so.
You know what I think the ultimate ending of this discussion is? Could there be 3 more unqualified people to talk about cheerleading than us?
That is true.
I mean, I married one. I think that gives me a little bit of.
Well, you know what? I was married to a kindergarten teacher and thought I knew elementary school, and I did.
Well, that's what. So. But what I'm saying is, you would have had more of a leg to stand on than someone who had never been married to a kindergarten teacher.
About a little toe length of a leg, probably. But
I dated several, and I married one, so I.
You kind of maybe to that statement, Todd, sort of.
So you rubbing it in or what? To those of us who never dated cheerleaders.
Not bragging.
Actually, I may be the only one here that didn't date a cheerleader, to be honest. But
you may be better off for it, Eric.
You going to take that, Celia?
I'm joking, and Samantha and anyone else listening who's a cheerleader, I'm joking. Just fun, poking fun.
Not that I wouldn't have wanted to date a cheerleader, but.
Pork chop, greasy. I'm trying to get the cadence down. So is it pork chop, greasy. We're going to beat you easy. I like that.
Yeah, never heard that one. Well, there's our first
filet mignon. Tallow, we shall beat you into the paste of mallow.
Steak, A1. Dribble the ball and have some fun.
That has to be punctuated with the pill. Little
skirt steak, hoochie mama.
Oh, this is going off the rails now. We better get to our real topics here.
Chicken, make a basket, make it a quicken.
Bison. I'm kidding.
Meat.
Protein. Tofu.
Down the floor. What was that one?
How'd that one go? Was that it?
down the floor. I don't know the rest. Celia, what was the rest?
Yours.
I'm assuming up the floor, but have to be the counter push.
Did other schools have to change the pronunciation of their mascot name for it to fit better into cheers? Or was that just the yours?
I always felt sorry for the Sycamore Aviators. That was always a mouthful.
The Sick Aves.
Sick Aves.
Sounds like a bird flu case.
But Hooters isn't any harder to say than Warriors. I mean, it's not any. It doesn't. I don't know why they changed that.
Up the score, down the floor. Up the score, down the floor. We want more. The cheerleaders are always very demanding too.
They are.
You know, you're having a bad offensive night, and they're over there screaming, "We want more!" Go, well, why don't you come out here and take a shot? See if that
By
works out.
contrast, I want to see you do a dismount flip.
Well, you know, I think as a good counter, the basketball team should have been able to sit on the bench at halftime and razz the cheerleaders while they did their little
Flip
floor.
your butt.
Yeah. we need a 720-degree flip.
Now. Oh.
Yeah.
We're ridiculous, but that's
We're
why
really
we
off the
lost.
rails now. Yeah. All right, Todd. I think you have a topic that we're continuing on, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can finish it up tonight. It's getting shorter, as tournaments tend to do. We are now into the next round. We got through the entire first round. As a reminder, if you have not listened to the last couple episodes, we are going through the best road trip snacks tournament bracket, and I just went on a road trip. I just went on a road trip this past weekend, and so I have a couple road trip snacks to share with you guys.
Did you get any of the road trip snacks on the bracket? No.
Right over there?
Yeah, my fan fell. First road trip snack. Funyun Minis. Now, let me show you these bad boys. Have you had these yet?
No. In a Pringles can?
Yeah. And I expected to open the can and it'd be a bunch of just Funyun pieces.
Chips. Yeah.
There's not one broken miniature or circle in there.
I'm not a huge Funyun guy, but I would try one because I think I would like the Funyuns better in a smaller ringage. It would be a little bit more controlled.
And the second one I picked up.
Mini
Eric, I'm
effing
reading your
onions.
mind. What's that say? Sorry.
Honey mustard.
Honey mustard Pringles.
Just give me the candy yak in.
Not a big honey mustard guy.
So, do you guys have you ever had the honey mustard, what are those pretzels? You know what I'm talking about?
That's the only honey mustard I'll eat.
These taste just like
Hanover little pretzel pieces.
Snyder's
of Hanover.
Yes.
Eric, these taste like them.
But they're in Pringle form.
I know. But they had that same...
The taste, yeah, but some of the beauty of the pretzel pieces are the texture and the crunch.
True. Yeah, I'm not saying it would be a good replacement, but if you're wondering if the flavor's off, it's like they use the same dust. Anyway, so the whole idea is our vacation snacks, road trip snacks, and there were 4 regions, and let's get back started with region number 1, which is let me pull it up here. Gas station staples. First matchup. The number 1 seed, Doritos. And if you remember correctly, or if you are just chiming in, we allow you to vote with the confidence of your favorite Dorito. So what I mean by that is there's not one Dorito that's matched up against something else. It's any flavor Dorito, but it has to be a Dorito.
Flaming Nacho, Cool Ranch, Uncool Ranch, they all
Chili.
count.
Right. And we are pitting Doritos up against by the way, Doritos beat Jack Link beef jerky. And Doritos are going up against Lay's potato chips, which eked out a win over Pop-Tarts. If I remember right, that was a pretty hotly contested matchup. So we have any flavor Lay's, but I think we did determine it has to be potato chip.
Yes.
So Doritos versus Lay's.
So I think the question last time on the Lay's part was, do Fritos count? Because it is by Lay's, Frito-Lay.
Right.
No, because those are a corn chip.
Yes. It has to be a potato chip.
Potato chip, yes.
Regular old potato chips. I mean, I don't hate them, but they're not a favorite. They're not a go-to. And in this matchup, I'm just gonna have to go with the good old original Dorito. That's gonna be my take. Once again, they're a little bit less crummy than a Dorito. I mean, excuse me, than a potato chip. I could bite into a Dorito and keep it relatively contained. I bite into a lay and it's gonna fragment. So not only it would be my choice, but it's also the cleaner option, in my humble opinion.
A Lay's?
The Dorito.
Oh, the Doritos are a cleaner option?
I would think so. Because like I said, if I bite a Dorito, the part I bite, it's going to stay relatively. If I bite into a lay, like I said, it just disintegrates into tater dust, and it could get all over your, as Eric succinctly put, all over your trousers.
How long do you make a potato chip last? Like,
How
many bites do you? How many bites?
Maybe two. It depends on the chip. If it's like there's the ruffled chips, some of those could be the size of a shingle, or at least a carp scale. And but then your standard lay is usually more bite size. But
if I don't have dip, sorry, Eric.
Let me translate for Brady. What Brady is saying is he can make a more effective handle with a Dorito than
I was going to say the Doritos have better handles. Yes.
Yes.
But I would say unless I have dip, I'm not biting chips. I'm putting the whole chip in my mouth each bite.
Agreed.
If I have dip, it's one dipful bite and one dipless bite.
Dipless bite would be a great band name.
But I would disagree on one thing. On one point you made, Brady. I would think the Doritos would be messier on your fingers.
On your fingers, yes. In your vehicle,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, we can throw out that and just go by what we like better. We don't have to. I mean, because obviously you're going to have to lick your fingertips with the Doritos. I don't know what Brady does because he doesn't lick his own fingertips. So do you wipe it on your pants? Brady's frozen on my end. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's frozen in this pensive look. Now, I imagine he probably has some of those little alcohol wipes at the ready for when he's eating anything. But yes, Brady is frozen. So he voted. Now he's gone. He's gone.
He's out.
So Brady voted Doritos. What did you vote, Todd?
I'm going Doritos. Again, if we're talking sans dip, although I like Doritos and dip as well. But if it's a road trip and I have no dip, I'm just going Doritos.
Okay, so 2 votes for Doritos. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of either, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I like the Dorito texture better, but I like the cleanliness of the potato chip better.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do with that. Probably Lay's potato chips by the scantest of votes for me.
All right. So we are 2-1 Lay's with our votes. Let's see what the folks say.
I want to answer Chris's question while the votes are being tallied. With the Dorito, what do I do with the handles? In all seriousness, I can usually get the Dorito squad in my mouth with one bite, but if I have to bite it, it's usually it's usually going in the hole because there's not as much handleage.
So Brady, do you grip a Dorito by the point and put the wide end in your mouth? Is that how you?
Yeah, that's what I do. Or I will straddle the two. Like if it's an isosceles triangle, I've got the two lengthy sides like this and got it in that way. So,
yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Well, I'm going down the votes here. It looks like just me. Well, it's me and Josh and the historian all voted Lay's. Everyone else voted
Karen.
Oh, Karen, yeah. Doritos are foul in her opinion. So 4.
See, you didn't vote. Oh, no, she voted. Okay.
I still think Doritos wins here.
I had to scroll up.
Yeah. So historian says Josh loves this bracket because it's about road trips. Guess when a lot of road trips start on Friday. We should play the song in honor of Josh.
So Doritos.
It looks like the Doritos are going on.
All right. Next matchup in this region is the 3-seed Oreos that beat out a 6-seed Combos, and the 2-seed Cheez-Its that beat out the 7-seed Bucky's Beaver Nuggets.
Beaver Nuts should have won.
James voted Lay's, but I don't know if that was enough to win.
No, that Doritos still won.
I'm coming down heavy on the Oreos. I'm totally team Oreo on this, especially if they're dual or triple stuffed. So, yeah, and an Oreo could be eaten relatively neatly. So all day long Oreo for me.
A lot of dust, a lot of Oreo dust when you bite into Oreos.
Yeah,
it's the kind of messy you don't know you are until you get there and you realize if you have a light
Exactly.
color shirt, it looks speckled. But this is an unfair matchup for me because it's sweet versus non-sweet.
yeah,
So it's tough.
Because just throwing this out there, I would pick a Cheez-It over a Dorito or a Lay potato chip.
That's
But
what
I have to go with the bracket.
Not me, but either way. Go ahead, Eric. What says you?
I have the same quandary you have. It's sweet versus
Savory.
Savory, yeah. And I'd love me some Cheez-Its, and I will put the historian's comment up here, especially the extra toasted Cheez-Its, which I'm assuming at some point were a mistake and they were thrown out, and then Cheez-It decided, hey, we can sell these and people probably like them. And they were correct
All
on
on
that.
something cool. They're
Yes.
extra toasted.
Yes, we did extra for you. That's what it was. And I will accept that. So
Our roasters put in double time for your enjoyment.
But again, I love me some Oreos too.
Not having milk. I know this doesn't play into your votes, but not having milk changes things for me.
Milk.
No milk.
And it's hard to dip your Oreo in milk when you're going down the road.
See, and it depends on my mood. I may in one gas station buy some Oreos, in the other gas station I might buy some Cheez-Its. It just depends.
Right.
And in some gas stations I may buy both.
I was just going to say, save your time and just buy them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
You may. Sometimes my lunch is a roller dog with some Lay's potato chips, and dessert is an Oreo. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Can't beat that. I will say again, by the scantest of votes, Oreos, because there's more than one thing at play. I mean, the cookie part is excellent, and the cream is excellent. I wish they just sold a tub of cream. I'd buy that.
There's a big old vat of crème.
Yes.
They probably do somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Nirvana.
You know what's the greatest thing is when Sonic has their Oreo cream, what do they call them? Not blizzards, but whatever they call their things.
Severe winter storms.
Blasts. Sonic blasts. Yeah. Yeah, those are great.
See, I don't know I get the Oreo thing. I just said the same thing myself. I don't quite understand what makes a Cheez-It a TV watching snack.
I get it. Yeah, well, only because I swear there's no connection. Like, I don't have any reason, but it seems like that is where I eat Cheez-Its most often. Either it's my go-to, I got a box on my teacher's desk for planning period, or I'm watching TVs.
Yeah.
You'd say that about any snack, though. I mean, most snacks you eat in front of the tube. All right, so
is she saying because they come in a box, they don't travel as well as a bag? I could see that.
That's fair. And I always wonder how it seems like in every box of Cheez-Its, some of the Cheez-Its escape the bag and end up in the box? How's that happen?
Same
I
thing
don't
as
know.
cereal.
Cereal.
Yeah. Odd.
It is odd.
All right. Did all three of
Well,
us say Oreos?
If I
guess
open
so.
it, they definitely do because I can't open anything without destroying the bag and the box and
Do you know what
the little
cereal was the worst about that? Honeycombs. I
Honeycomb
always
bag.
end up with 1/3 of the honeycomb box in betwixt the
But
box and
it's
the
not
bag.
small. No,
But-
no.
has it ever happened where it's a bonus because you go to pour in your bowl and you don't get much. You pretty much can only cover the bottom of your bowl with what's left in the bag, and you're like crap. But then you realize you have half a bowl of cereal left in the outside of the bag between the bag and the box. That's a good day.
Yeah. You flick the weevils off of them and eat it anyway.
Chris, you're
No.
right. I mean, you're not right, but
All right.
Gosh.
So 3 Oreos. And I'm
See,
thinking Oreos.
see, I hope you see that the world, and by the world I mean everyone who listens to this podcast is on my side. No kaleidoscopes ever.
You know those kaleidoscopes will keep coming for the Oreo fluff.
Not to be confused with, I always like to call them the hydroxychloroquines.
There's 2 different cookies though. Those are a different type.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Same idea, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Well, the Hydrox are indestructible, I believe. Surprised you can even bite through them.
Laura says she keeps a pair of scissors in a kitchen drawer. You know, that's a good idea. I personally think they've made things harder to get into now than they ever were.
Agreed.
I'll tell you the worst thing ever. This is related, so that I'm going to go forward with this. The world ended, simplicity ended, and the ability to sneak a midnight chip or snack when they went to that recyclable, it was aluminum, it was foil, but it was like environmentally friendly, and that is the loudest crap. It's like somebody's got a bunch of Snap-its just put on their feet, walk. Pop, 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 pop. It's horrifically loud. You cannot sneak it.
All right, Celia, are you volunteering
great-
here? Because what I foresee here is you making 2 vats of Oreo fluff, one with kaleidoscopes and one with regular Oreos, and we have a taste test.
Well, hang on a minute. First off, Celia's specialty with Oreos are the it's not fluff. She makes what do they call them? Crap.
Pudding?
She'll tell you. The little. What do you make, Celia? Yeah, I'm lost. The word is lost.
It's a
on me.
treat.
Truffles. She makes Oreo truffles.
A viscous treat.
She makes Oreo truffles. That would be
Ah.
easier. We wouldn't need any kind. Yeah. So, are you willing to make? What do you think? 3 Oreos, kaleidoscopes, and the
Hydrox.
Hydrox. Are you willing to do that, dear?
And then we have to pick which one's which.
Or do we just blindfold and take a bite of the cookie and see if we can tell? That would probably be the easiest.
Because the Nabisco logo on the Oreo will give it away. That little
Right.
weather
Yeah,
vane
we're not
looking
allowed-
thing. You could pick that out on a fragment.
We're not allowed to look at it or even try to trace it Braille style with our finger. We got to just eat
Yeah.
No. It has to be the truffles. You can't let her. She made the volunteer here, and she's
Okay.
gonna make truffles.
All
And
right,
we can't
well,
just have the cookies. Cookies would be too easy to. You got to get the truffle.
So
Cookies.
are you right here on live national TV, Celia? Are you saying that you will make truffles, 3 different types of truffles for us to do live?
The subcontinent of India just is seeing this go down.
I don't know how you keep them separate. You'd have to put a lot of work into keeping them separate, so you would know, Celia.
You gotta keep them separate.
That's true. See, that's what I was thinking. The truffles have other ingredients, which I think would tend to make them all taste similar.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll do something with Oreos for the live.
I'm thinking my taste buds can differentiate. It's a challenge.
That would be kind of.
I don't know. We'll
I do
find
like
out if that will skew the result.
I do like the idea. Although I'm not going to make you because I know they're a lot of work, and making 3 different types would be triple the work. So.
That's true. That's true. I didn't mean to be pushy. If you would like to do that, we would welcome that.
I demand 3.
Do it now,
Woman.
Whoa, man. Whoa, man.
Whoa, man.
All right. So back to our voting.
I think Oreos is running away with it.
Yeah.
Where it is?
Yeah. You are correct, Jim. I do want the trophies.
Well, they are very good.
Yes. All right. I think Oreos wins this.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. That finishes up the, what was that called? Gas station staples.
Yes.
You find my bracket again. Next up, we have the drinks region. Number 1 seed, Coca-Cola.
Bracket.
Versus the 5 seed, Arizona tea.
Yes. Oh, God. What was that? Somebody break their femur?
5 o'clock somewhere.
I feel like Eric has. Don't go to the bathroom, Eric. I feel like everything's mic'd right now.
I'm just pouring it. Just pouring the story.
Coke for me.
That is picking up everything. Now take you a swig. I want to hear it.
I want to hear it slide down your gullet.
There we go.
You didn't do it, man. I thought you were going to do the commercial. There we go.
Jack Palance. This is easy for me.
Coke. For me, Coke Zero to be
Coke.
more to
Coke
the
for me.
point. Coke Zero.
Yeah, Coke Zero for me too. Or caffeine-free Coke. Or caffeine-free Diet Coke. Or Diet Coke.
But I will say again, if you have a product called Coke Zero, it should also not have caffeine.
I agree.
It should
Well, they
zero
do
everything.
They do make caffeine-free Coke Zero. It's harder to find, but
Yeah.
I just had some of my mom's the other day.
Mhm.
She randomly had. I'd never seen it before myself. It's only differentiated because the red can with the black writing 0, but it's trimmed in gold.
Mhm.
Gold.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris. Actually, on the bracket, it was Arizona's Arnold Palmer, but in the spirit of the earlier categories, we said we could go any Arizona tea.
Yeah, I've only had one Arizona, and it wasn't good. It was like it just tasted like sickeningly sweet. It's kind of what I imagine drinking antifreeze would taste like. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like where they say it's like really super sweet, and it just like it. And maybe it's just the kind I had, which to be honest, I don't remember what kind it was, but it was a bit saccharine.
Yeah.
I can't have tea that's not brewed. Just it's got to be freshly brewed.
Tea snob.
Well, I can't even drink it anymore. Ever since I became diabetic, it tastes terrible. But used to love it. Anyway, so 3 Cokes for us.
3 Cokes.
All
3
right.
Cokes and 3 smiles.
I was going to make a Coke and a Smiles, right?
Coke. Jim says Diet Coke. Samantha says Coke. Caden says Coke. Looks like Josh and the historian are the only ones that said tea.
Laura just.
Oh, did Laura say tea?
Cast
Yeah,
tea.
yeah. She was on the green tea. I think Coke still wins it.
I believe so. Coke it is.
Have a Coke and a smile.
You know, even when I drank tea, a lot of tea, I was never a tea in a can or a bottle, like a Lipton. You know, those. What are all the different brands of? Besides Arizona,
Milo's is the bomb.
Well, I don't mind some of the store bought, like in the in the jugs. I've done that, like even just the Kroger brand and stuff. I don't mind because you can get. What I like about that is you can get like diet caffeine-free tea. And it's pretty good. It's actually sweeter than the regular tea. I don't know what they put in it to make it so sweet. Yeah. But I'm talking about like the little bottles. Those kind of got popular around my high school days. Like
Milo's does come in the bottles.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I never even when I was a tea drinker, we grew up. We had tea more than we had pop growing up. Like we talked before, we had instant tea, Nest tea.
I thought it was Lipton Crystals.
No, Nest tea was our go-to. There you go, Karen. That's true.
Cigar tea.
So, Celia, if it was Coke versus Snapple, what would you pick?
No, I'm not thinking Snapple. I know Snapple was big too, but that's about the time the tea bottles kind of started showing up more in gas stations and stuff too. Maybe a little later. I can't think of all the brands, but I know Lipton is one. I know the Arizona. Arizona was in a can, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's always been in
that
can.
big old like 40 deuce can.
But I was never a Snapple fan either.
Snapple.
Yeah, Snapple.
I don't know where I had this. It might have been Florida. I've seen it once. I got it once. It was called 2F by T, and it looked like it had a Paul Revere theme, and it was pretty good. But I've only had it once.
I mean, I guess that T theme with Paul Revere would make sense.
Yeah.
2F by T. It's pretty clever.
It is. I'm gonna have to look up the bottle, the can. Well, you continue.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, that was what my family had. We had the glass jar of Nest tea we kept in the Lazy Susan. Typically a backup jar of Nest tea in the Lazy Susan as well. And there was probably, I would say, a couple pitchers a day made of it growing up.
Not Sun Tea.
No, Sun Tea.
Speaking of pretentious.
Right. Braiding his Sun Tea.
I never had Sun Tea for the last time. If I ever drank Sun Tea, it was from somebody else. We never had Sun Tea, ever.
And Brady's tea was nuked in the microwave, remember?
That's along with his Vienna sausages.
Side by side.
Side by side.
Yeah, Josh, Gold Peak was another one.
Yeah. All right. I think Coke is the wiener.
See, it was the Sun Tea family. What is that beside his head?
He's holding a bottle of it.
Oh, I didn't see a hand.
Yeah. All right.
What is winning here? It's Coke.
Coke. Brady, you've been inexplicably tied into Sun Tea.
Yes. I've never made Sun Tea ever.
Oh, you've made it and liked it. Josh is pretty picky about his tea. Milo's,
I am too.
Pure Leaf, Brisk. Is Brisk a flavor? Or is that like a?
It's a brand.
Oh, there were 3 brands. I thought that was his Milo's tea subcategories.
Pure Leaf, like I said, though, I think Pure Leaf is the one that I think is it like it was sweetened with raisins or prunes. It's got a very raisiny aftertaste, and but Milo's is the bomb.
Sun Tea is the drink of a traitor.
Indeed, Caden, indeed.
All right, Coke it is.
First off, I don't want sun as an ingredient. Sun is not an ingredient. You know what I mean? It's that can't be an ingredient.
No, it's not an ingredient. It's a means to production.
I know, but
okay.
So Brady's tea would be microwave tea.
Micro tea.
And your tea would be stir tea.
Stir tea. Spoon tea.
Spoon tea.
See, I would call my tea company One Lump or Nuke.
I know the sun brews the tea. But my point is, the people that love sun tea, they talk about it as if the sun is somehow some sort of magical elixir that makes the tea better than other ways of brewing it.
Puts vitamin D in it, I guess.
That's what I was going to say. And injects your tea with vitamin D. I'm a poet and don't know it.
You are. Did Coke win?
Yes.
Coke won.
Coke wins. All right. So we already established that, didn't we? I already circled it. Last matchup in the drinks region, we have Monster Energy drink, which, by the way, was a 6 seed, and it beat out the 3 seed Red Bull.
Sure, same.
Potato,
I mean, they're
potato.
against each other.
Both kill
It'd be
you.
like having Coke versus Pepsi.
We did have Coke versus Pepsi in the first, the 1-8 seed. All right, so versus Gatorade, which beat this. That was the 2 seed Gatorade. It beat the 7 seed 7-Eleven Slurpee.
Gator's Aid.
So what is it? Gator's Aid versus what? Oh, Red Bull. I mean, excuse me, Monster. Gator's Aid, big time, all day. Am I the only person? I like the that translucent white, the white cherry.
Oh yeah, the cherry glacier.
I like that one.
I like the zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only drink the zero of it. And Gatorade Zero is vastly superior to Powerade Zero.
Oh,
I haven't had
Powerade has a
Powerade
weird
in a while.
aftertaste.
Yeah, I haven't had that in a while.
Hey, Josh, you really like the lemon Gator's Aid? I didn't know anybody liked the lemon Gator's Aid.
Like the original green one.
Yeah.
Gator piss.
No, Todd, Gator PEA.
brewed from a gator's undercarriage. No sun on that.
Oh.
Gatorade for me.
Gatorade for me.
Me 3.
All right. We've got our first monster vote after 8 Gatorade votes.
2 monsters.
I think Gatorade's going to run away with this. Well, now, was that a vote by the historian, or was that just a statement?
True. We need clarification, historian. Mr. Historian, excuse me.
Whilst that may be a true statement, although as I said last time, I fear energy drinks. I think my heart's going to explode.
Yeah. They're for the young. They're not for us old folks.
Mm-hmm.
We're too long in the teeth.
Longs in the tooth.
Okay.
If necessary, if I'm in one of those situations where I'm falling asleep at the wheel, I'll go with the 5-hour energy shot. Or if I'm really desperate, stack or 2 electric boogaloo. But usually it's like...
See, I mean, if it's just straight up caffeine doesn't affect me like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't keep me awake. Yeah, I'd sooner just roll down the window and stick my head out the window.
Just brings on the palps.
I can see you going down like a dog.
I've done it.
Oh, yeah. I've done it.
Almost worse than sun tea. All right. Looks like Gatorade is the clear winner here.
Gator's Aid.
Gator's Aid. Moving over to what was this region called?
Fast food?
No.
Candy?
Crap. I can't open it. Here we go. It is. You're right. I'm sorry, Brady. I shouldn't have doubted you. Fast food. All right. We have the 1 seed. It was McDonald's nuggets, but we decided to say it could be any fast food nugget. And it had to be nugget. It couldn't be finger,
Strip,
stick, tender,
plank.
Fry.
plank. Right. So any fast food nug versus that beat out, by the way, the 8 seed Tots. Eric, I think that upsets you.
It did upset me.
But we are going with nugs versus chicken sandwich. Two chicken items.
Dang. See, I like my nugs sauceless, so mess is not, a big deal. But dang, if somebody gave me, a Chick-fil-A sandwich or a Popeyes sandwich, see, I would choose those over a McDonald's nugget. I think I'm going to have to go sandwich myself. I have no real problem, but I think I would prefer a sandwich.
I'm a sandwich guy over nugs. I'm the same way. I have no problem with them, but give me something I can grip and rip rather than have to just keep on reaching over and pinch it with my 2 fingers and like a kindergartner. I got it. Yeah, I just want to grip my sandwich and rip it.
Aggressive.
By the way, rest in peace to Mr.
Jimmy
Dave
Swagger.
Parker. Mr. Dave Parker, the Cobra.
Yes.
And the reason I thought of him is because I was reading the other day, he at one time owned 22 Popeyes.
Wow.
In the region. And when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, he sold them all back in like 2012 or 2013. So he passed away over the weekend. I love the pictures of him smoking in the dugout. There's just something about a professional athlete smoking whilst
him and his manager from the Pirates, Jim Leland, was famous for that too.
Yeah.
Jim Leland was never his manager.
He wasn't?
Sorry. No,
I thought he was.
Chuck Tanner was his manager.
Thank you.
Jim Leland was. Yeah. Jim Leland wasn't the manager till the late 80s. Yeah.
You couldn't sneak that. You knew you couldn't sneak that by Eric, Brady. Come on, man. But Dave Parker and Vlade Divas are the 2 professional athletes I think of that smoked while playing.
Well,
there's that classic picture on a Super 70s Sports, Len Dawson in Super Bowl I in the locker room smoking a cigarette and has a Fresca at his feet.
Oh, man.
He said, today's athletes are taking IVs and all this, and Len Dawson in there.
With a lung dart.
Smoking a lung dart and a Fresca.
Or a heater. Oh, shoot. I told you guys, that speaking of this is going to tie into the podcast, but it was one of the giveaways at the Reds game, and I got a pair of Dave Parker wristbands sponsored by RC Cola.
Nice. Eric will be the one that gets this, but had he been
not a hint of RC Cola in the stadium, by the way, except on those wristbands, but continue.
Yeah. So Eric, you'll be the one that gets this, but had he been a rookie, he'd have been twisting a bird.
Yes.
Didn't
Rook.
Rook.
I think if I twist a bird, Rook.
I think Mr. Parker was
I thought it was smoke a lefty.
No, it was twist a bird.
It was burn a lefty. It was the quote.
Yeah. Right.
Out of a burn a lefty, Rook.
Yeah, I think that's right. I thought he said both. Where'd I get the bird? Where'd I get the twist of the bird?
I don't know. I think your trauma has messed with your memory.
Well, didn't Dave Parker go on trial not for the bird, but for the toot?
Yeah.
Wasn't there something he was involved?
He was involved in that. Yeah, like some sort of.
Yeah, that's what
I didn't realize he only played for the Reds 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it was way longer than that, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. Yeah.
He left the Reds and went to the A's, I think.
He did.
And then maybe end up with the Brewers.
He played for 5 or 6 teams when it was all said and done. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh, Reds, and then A's.
Yeah. Because I think the Brewers are in there somewhere. Well, as far as the votes, I mean, I personally, it's a rough one too. I think the thought of the Chick-fil-A sandwich with the pickle on it. I like the idea of that, but I just really can't necessarily eat a chicken sandwich for the most part without mayonnaise on it.
Yeah.
And having mayonnaise, because if it's a road trip, I'm driving because I can't be a passenger. It's not allowed. So, trying to eat the sandwich with the mayonnaise on it, it's a little bit of a chance. So if it's a road trip situation, a dab. Yes, it'd have to be a small dab. Because you rip into that sandwich and then it leaks out the bottom. I mean, it's just...
Well, and it also depends on your grip. If you over grip, then the rip becomes in your lap. You rip in your lap.
Correct.
But Eric, I will agree. The only chicken sandwich that I can eat without condiment is Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Yeah, and it has to be the spices, I guess.
Although I have been guilty lately of putting the Chick-fil-A sauce on it, which makes it even unhealthier. So, because I love that Chick-fil-A sauce. So, but I just put just a dollop, just like 1, 2, and then I'm done. Like kind of like the old water fountains at Spring Elementary. 1, 2, shoo, and you're out.
2 shoo. So do you have to get the Chick-fil-A sauce in the little square?
But I like it. I prefer it in the square because you can control the glop. You hold it over your chicken sandwich and you squeeze the back end of the
glop
square
and drop. There
and it
you
just
go.
Drops and drops. I believe it to be about 1/3 of the square goes on the chicken sandwich, and then I roll it with the bun, the top bun.
You gotta collapse the bubble.
Pinch and roll it.
Oh, hey, I got an answer to your question, gentlemen. Pirates, Reds, A's, Brewers, Angels, Blue Jays.
Really? Don't remember the Angels and Blue Jays. All right, so I got to put this comment up here. Is that a thing? Is that pickled lemonade? Is that true? That is rancid if that's true.
God, I love you, Chris, but man,
I did. Now the historian, you beat me to it. I was going to say, Eric, what you're tasting in that Chick-fil-A sandwich is pickle juice. That's what they marinate their sandwich.
Oh yeah. So the water fountain rules at Bright Local must have been less stringent than at Eastern.
Yeah. We had 1, 2 shoe, which was a form of torture when you think about it. You just getting your whistle wetted.
I'm sure some schools were 1 done.
And the thing is, I mean, that water the one by the gym was so cold and so refreshing.
Yeah.
It was a shame that you only got 2 seconds in that stream of water.
Yeah, but I will say this: I can remember if you hurt your teeth, if you didn't aim it just right, you had to approach it just right. Because if you hit a tooth that maybe had a sensitive area, it lights you up.
Lights you up. Oh,
some jerk put a paper wad in the small hole and then it boxed her uvula because it came out like a jet stream. Like,
yeah, or some chewing gum and it hit the wall on the other side.
Yeah.
No, you don't put the paper in the small hole. You put it in the big hole.
I thought it was the small hole.
No, it comes squirting out small hole with great force.
Hang on, let's think about this. So you want to put the gum or the paper in the big hole to make it go further, Eric? Is that what you're saying?
To make it squirt out with greater force.
You essentially have a governor on it at that point. You've choked it back. You're up in the PSI.
Exactly, you're up in the PSI, so it squirts someone in the face.
Interesting.
That's the idea.
Right, because if you put it on the small hole, you're just changing the shape of the stream.
Correct. You're just making that large stream less powerful.
Right.
That is disgusting.
Chris just sent me that. The historian just sent me the picture of it.
I need to try it.
Oh,
I like pickles.
So is it pickles and lemons or just pickle
Yes, it's
juice?
lemonade, but instead of strawberry lemonade, it's pickle lemonade.
Ew. Whoever thought of that?
I don't know, that the tang thought's making my jaws lock. Gosh.
Oh, you are correct, Karen. If someone had poor timing in joining this podcast, that whole discussion about where to put the paper would have been taken much differently, I'm sure. So anyway, my vote was nuggets, but I don't. Looks like sandwiches are. What is going on? Someone mixing drinks?
I have a fan.
Oh, you're a fan.
Yes. I had a student buy this for me for an end of the year present. It's one of the coolest presents I've ever gotten. Look at that. You can hold
Sounds like a jet engine.
You can set it. That's on
Can
the
you
highest
talk
speed.
into it and do the Darth Vader thing?
No, it doesn't work.
Okay.
It doesn't get that much speed going.
Must be a lot of sound and no fury then, because it sounds like like I said, it sounds like a jet engine.
Sounds like a 747's taxiing into the room.
All right, what chicken sandwich one?
Sandwich.
Well, hold on. Let me go back and vote these or count these votes. I think it may be nuggets actually. So 2-1 sandwich for us, counting our votes. So there's 2-2, 3-2 for nuggets. There's 4-2 nuggets.
Oh.
Popeye sandwich. That's 4-3. Jim says sandwich 4-4. Josh sandwich 5-4. Laura sandwich 6-4. So yeah, it is sandwich, but it was closer.
It
Closer
was.
than we thought. All right.
Yeah, Josh must have played harder at recess. That's what it was. Bet you didn't have a sneaky snake and at Bright like we had at Sardinia.
Or the poison ivy.
I'm just talking about this past weekend. We had the Love Canal when I was in school. We
Say what?
Love Canal.
Like a toxic waste or
No, like a boyfriend, girlfriend. You went out and you sat and you held hands
Where was the Love Canal?
down over the hill.
Huh.
I don't know where we got the canal part, but if our friend Carrie was listening, she would remember the love. I'm gonna text Carrie right now and ask if she remembers the Love Canal. Maybe that's not what it was called.
So how many guests did you have in the Love Canal, Todd?
Well, there were I don't know, just whoever was a couple at the time.
Was someone a lookout for the teachers?
I'm not sure.
Did anyone get in trouble for holding hands in the Love Canal?
I never did. That's pretty good at it. It's pretty good at sneaking.
All right, so sandwich it is.
I remember who my girlfriend was during the Love Canal, but I'm not going to say it. I'll text you guys.
We'll say Love Canal reeks of toxic waste.
All right. I'll let you know what
Ooh.
Carrie says.
Nice.
What one? So a chicken sandwich. Moving on to the next one. This was a 6 seed, so this is a pretty low seed, still fighting for its life here. Arby's curly fries, and we did say that it had to be a curly fry.
Yes,
We were
Had
a
to
little
be
more
the seasoned
strict with this one.
curlies.
Versus number 7. My gosh, the 6 and 7 seed beat the 2 and the 3 seed. But anyway, the 7 seed Frosty. And by the way, who was it that was talking about the caramel?
yes, we were talking
Was
about
it
that last week.
Caden? I think it was.
I think he brought it up. Matter of fact, I just had one of those yesterday.
Well, I need to get, because you're right. They have all kinds of different flavors now. When I wasn't paying attention, they snuck in all kinds of them, and they have the like supreme ones or whatever too.
Well, they have the swirl, which is the caramel, and they just put syrup in it. Then they have those other, well, I don't forget what they're called, but they're kind of like Blizzard type things where they've put Pop-Tarts and whatever in it.
Well, what I like though is they also, for each one of them, you can get the chocolate or the vanilla version. So I want to try the chocolate caramel one.
See, that'd be vanilla caramel. That would. It's not that I would hate the chocolate caramel, but the vanilla and the caramel really pops together. Oh no!
I had vanilla caramel yesterday.
Oh, caramel frosty, daggone! I might have to get in the car and break my diet and go get one.
You are right, Chris. There is no need for that onion bun. What the hell is up with that? You know what it reminds me of? If you ever look at your garage floor, like if it's rained and how worms get under your garage door and they dry up and when they get all crusty and dry when they die, that's what that onion bun looks like. It's just a bun full of dried up
worms. Oh my gosh. I remember, I think it was our friend Doug that asked Arby's. He wanted a beef and cheddar on just a sesame seed bun, and they wouldn't do it.
Well, but what you can do, you can get any roast beef you can get cheese on it.
Huh. I'll bet if you order through an app nowadays, you can do it.
Probably so.
You can do anything in the apps.
I prefer to add Swiss on any roast beef.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. A roast beef with Swiss.
Yeah. So we are at. You're late, Celia. We are at curly fry versus frosty.
Oh gosh.
Again, you have sweet versus savory.
Yeah. Dang it, man. I'm trying to. I think I'm gonna have to go the seasoned curlies. I love them both. I do. But
as a road trip snack, I can see that because it's hard to eat a frosty while driving.
Yeah, and it's a sustenance thing. I think the curlies will keep me full and satisfied longer on the trip. And then if I eat a frosty only, I'm gonna be hungrier. You know what I mean?
Well,
frosty the snow mound.
Fairbairn loves them.
That's a different vowel sound. How you do? Let's see. Frairsty Fairbairn.
Fairbairn is turning into the Swedish chef the longer it goes.
Well, Brady, you also have the mousy liming road trip rules that have been baked into your psyche.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad liked a frosty, but it was only after we'd ate,
yeah, it's a dessert.
But what's FFT? Oh,
frosty for the win.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I think she says. That's what I think that means. But
at first, I thought it was French frosty fries. Around and find out. But then I did.
French fries twisted waywardly. That's she's saying curly fry.
No, she says fries.
Okay.
I thought it was frosty for the win or fries for the win.
Oh, fries for the win.
Yeah, well.
I gotcha.
We were CFFTW.
Laura has to have her horsey sauce.
Horsey.
So you're saying with the fries?
Slop for me.
You dip your fries in the horsey sauce? Is that what you're saying, Laura?
Horsey sauce sounds like something Foghorn Leghorn says when he's angry. Well, that's a horsey sauce.
I assume it was a Craycraft's favorite.
Oh.
Slow burn. Let that one sink in.
Say that again, Todd.
I said, I'm sure it was a Craycraft favorite. Help him out, Eric.
Horsey Craycraft, Brady.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
If it were mousy sauce, Brady, it would be your dad's favorite. There you go.
A liming favorite.
A liming favorite, yes.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before, about all the fun nicknames people had back then. We don't have nicknames. Well, we probably do, but people don't say them to our face because they're probably not very nice.
They're probably proctological in nature.
That's true. Everyone had a nickname back then.
That's a lot of horsey sauce.
Beaver,
That's like
mousy.
That's like one fry per horsey sauce packet.
It is.
It's hard to do the package though while you're driving. That's why the only ketchup that works with driving is the ketchup that has that you can either cut the tip and squeeze, or you can peel back and dip.
Cut the tip and squeeze.
It should be a federal law that every fast food place has to have that kind of ketchup. I think Chick-fil-A is the only place that has it anymore.
I think so. Which is why
president
people
on that.
love them. Another reason why people love them.
Right.
All right. I say Frosty.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a tough one, but I'm still sticking with the Curlies
I'm
for the
sticking with
reasons
the
I
Curlies,
stated.
too. I don't think a Frosty is a snack. It's not a road trip snack. You can't eat it and drive. I mean,
Sure
you
you
can,
can.
but yeah,
And if I have
dangerous.
yeah,
How do you eat with a spoon and drive?
especially that spoon that's going to scrape your because it's too deep.
Not deep anymore. Matter of fact, it's too shallow for chili anymore. They made it more shallow.
Too
And they
shallow
made
for
it
chili would be a
ineffective.
good band name too.
They made it ineffective for chili, but more effective for the Frosty. They can't find a middle ground. They should have a Frosty spoon and a chili spoon.
That's true. Well, at least it's
Called
not a
a ladle
spork.
Well, true.
or a foon.
Let's see. Let's see. 2-1 for Curly's. I think Caden's vote was Frosty, so 2-2. Josh says Frosty 3-2. I think every other one. Well, Karen says Frosty 4-2. Celia says Frosty 5-2.
Ooh.
Now wait a minute. Celia said, "Oh, she said sandwich," but that was the last
she was-
vote.
yeah.
She was late. 5-2 Frosty. And then we got let's see, 5-3 with Laura's votes for fries. Mama Liming says Frosty 6-3.
Ooh.
It's like Frosty wins.
That's interesting. She went
That
against
is.
Brady.
Yeah, she did.
well, like I said, well, we're a Frosty family. We are, and like it's just one of those things. I love me a Frosty, but in this milieu, I'm going to choose the fries. But probably 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to go with a Frosty.
But I'm guessing on the big road trips your mom has been on, she was not the one driving.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Mousy was the captain of the ship.
Except that one time he got vertigo from an inner ear infection the morning we left. And I had to drive that sucker as a 16-year-old through Jacksonville all the way to Atlanta.
A good thing you didn't have to go to the bathroom.
That's why I stopped before Atlanta. But episode 5, I think, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, as I'm looking here, hold on. Yeah, I'm sticking with the fries.
Did Frosty win?
Frosty
I think-
won.
Frosty won. Oh, hey, Chris. What is Fairbairn's full legal name? Hit us with it. I might not be ready for it yet either. But he's going to have to tell us.
Harris Fairbairn. I don't know. I
John
don't know.
Christian. Oh, horse poop.
Holy mackerel.
Dude.
Dude.
It's Jern, Christern, Cameron, Fairbairn. That's how I'm pronouncing it.
Camino. Let's see. I'm gonna have to do this phonetically. Camino Ialoamika Ika Kikumupa Fairbairn.
Again, Jern, Christern, Cameron, Fairbairn.
I think you should just drop it all and just go by Moopa Fairbairn. Moopa would be fine.
All right, last region.
At least not Fupa Fairbairn.
Actually, I forgot. I mispronounced that. It's Moopa. That it's got the
sky comma.
The sky comma? Do you mean an apostrophe?
That would be what normal people call it. Yes.
Say, like, I'm not sure what school it is.
It's very elementary-ish.
Do you call colon a double period? I mean, what, like a semicolon is a sky comma and a period? A sky comma and a ground dot?
Ground dot.
All right, we have the candy region, boys.
All right.
M&M, the one seed M&Ms.
M&Ms.
Versus the 4 seed Kit and Kat.
All right. So what is it with this packaging you have there? It looks like M&M put the picture of their old M&Ms into an AI and said, generate me a new picture of this. Those new M&Ms are very
animated. Mouthy. They've got 3D definition. They seem very real.
It looks like the end result of if Grimace and the old M&Ms had a child.
They're big legged. They have bigger legs than they used to have.
That's probably from Grimace's side.
It's the mouth. Actually, the blue M looks kind of like Grimace.
Yeah.
You know, it was the wild 70s. Grimace got around.
Have the M's always been missing a finger?
Been 4-fingered instead of 5, you mean?
Yeah. They have a thumb and 3 fingers.
I don't know, but I know the oven mitt from what was that?
Hamburger Helper.
Hamburger Helper. He was always 4-fingered.
As is Tom and Jerry. They say it's got something to do about animation, that 5 fingers makes it look too busy. Tom always had 4 fingers. Nobody ever questioned why Tom was wearing gloves. To get back on the subject, I'm going M&M's on the road trip, but Kit Kat's my favorite. But on the road trip, it's M&M's.
People are giving me a hard time about my story, and now Todd's crunching in his microphone.
Right. Yeah, I don't normally eat on the show until I go for my Tootsie Roll for the games. Sorry, folks, if that's rude of me.
All right, so what's the matchup?
M&M's
versus Kit Kat.
Kit Kat.
Now I need to floss. I got all kinds of M&M in my mouth.
I say M&M's without a doubt.
Yeah.
Josh is spot on, Josh.
Exactly.
Probably the best candy in America right now.
Would you take a peanut butter M&M over a Reese's Pieces?
Any day of the
week. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who used to think that Reese's Pieces were the premier candy.
Yeah. Bee's knees.
So am I the only one that has to take great care when you say Reese's Pieces that you don't say Reese's Pieces?
I've said Reese's Pieces. But I also used to call the pop Diet Riot.
Diet Riot.
Ooh, the mega peanut butter. Yes, sir.
Of course, that time, I will not mention our friend's name, but he ate a whole box of Reese's Pieces to get the ET, the proof of purchase. He ate that and he can't eat him. And we always joke that it gave him the Reese's feces.
Probably did. Uh,
Maybe
yes,
some
M&M's. M&M's without question.
Yeah, yeah.
So the love canal has been confirmed by Carrie, by the way, and she even says, "I'm not going to say it because she says you and blank blank were a hot item, and it's the person that I told you about." So see,
Oh,
it's not just me that 40 years later remembers that.
Let's see. What did you two vote?
I voted M&M's.
Todd, I'm assuming since you could
M&Ms.
not resist eating the M&Ms that you had in
Right.
your hand.
Right. Well,
That would be
here's the
your
thing: if I show off snacks to the audience, I feel like I need to eat a couple to show that I'm not just a plant,
plant.
an industry plant.
See, can I show? Like, I do love the white chocolate Kit Kat. Love it. But on a road trip, I'm still going M&M's.
Brady could not be more opposite from me in almost every single category when it comes to
candy.
food. Anything, just anything. No condiments. I'm a condiment guy. White chocolate I'm a dark chocolate guy.
I think it's a 23andMe says my taste buds are kind of jacked.
Although, Brady, I will say this. You'd have been proud of me. I ate yesterday, stopped in Maysville and ate at Hippie Burger, I believe was the name of the place in Maysville. And I got I can't think what the name of it was, but whatever it was, it had shaved pork tenderloin, like pork, like almost like lunch meat, but it was pork.
Yeah.
And it had a jerk sauce on it. And it reminded me of something you would like. It was very good, yes.
Is that a chain or is that like a single location sort of thing?
I think it's just a single. Okay. It was very good. Everything was kind of like Cheech and Chong based. Like they had a Cheech and Chong burger. I forget what I got, what it was called. Yeah.
Were there people in there smoking pot?
No. It's a theme, but it's not what there was. Yeah. Chris, thanks.
Please tell me they had up and smoked Gouda.
They did. They should. They had very, very tasty fries and onion rings. They didn't have frings, though. If you're thinking about opening a restaurant, you need to have frings.
Gustavo Frings. Well, gentlemen, we have one Kit Kat vote.
And the rest?
There it is. Rest are M&M's.
Yeah, M&M's for the win, easily.
M&M
Our last
FTW.
matchup of this round, the 3 seed Twix, both the right and the left, versus the 2 seed Snickers.
Twix.
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 I have
Little electric company reference there.
I've always argued that the Snicker is the perfect candy bar, but lately I've been leaning towards the Kit Kat. But I'm going to stay with Snickers. The Snickers is easier to eat as a road trip snack.
It is. But I do love me a Twix.
Well, there again with the peanut butter. Peanut butter Snickers or peanut butter Twix. I mean, both are strong. Very
those
strong.
peanut butter Snickers, it's hard to say. Peanut butter Snicker squares are fantastic. They might be right behind the peanut butter M&M as greatest candy in America right now.
That is solid.
You know what would be good? Take you one of those fat, like he was talking about, those big peanut butter M&Ms, and just shove it straight down into the Snicker square, the Snickers peanut butter square.
Bedazzled Snicker square.
That would be perfect.
You got your M&M in my Snickers.
No, you got your Snickers in my M&M. M&M's.
Gary's right. You don't need that left-right drama while driving.
I can handle my by confectionery treats.
Now, if it's the one large cat or kit, that's a little easier for snacking.
Yeah. Oh, daggone it. Did you ever have the cookies and creme Twic?
I think I have.
It's pretty excellent.
Have you had the peanut butter and jelly Reese cup?
No,
I like it. I
I'm
like
not
it.
sure.
I also like the peanut butter and jelly M&Ms, by the way.
There is a delicious chocolate donut Kit Kat that was really good. Now from Japan, my niece Amber, she sent matcha Kit Kats. So they were mint green. They were matcha Kit Kat. That was unique.
Josh, or the M&M. I wouldn't mind a tri bag. PB, brownie batter, and peanut butter and jelly.
What
Go ahead
about?
and make it a quad bag and throw in the peanut M&Ms as well.
Okay, now here's my tri bag M&M, and it's gonna be the crisp, like the Rice Krispie, that one, the white chocolate M&Ms, and either the caramel or the orange creme M&Ms.
The caramel ones are good.
Yes, they are.
They're very good. I don't know that I've ever seen the white chocolate M&Ms.
They were only out for a while. They were limited
Eric,
edition. They were delicious.
What's your favorite M&M, Eric?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Is anyone just a classic M&M fan?
I mean, I'll eat the crap out of them, but
I like them coat. And on ice cream.
See, my problem with the Colt M&Ms, I've had one in a blizzard before. I was biting BBs. It surprised me. I thought about crack my tooth.
Todd, I'm surprised you do that with your dental situations.
My old man teeth.
All right. Looks like Snickers probably wins this.
So I want to share this real quick. I don't remember this, but I want to share this that our friend Carrie says. Do you remember the day you came into Mrs. Short's room and said, "We're all in trouble. Mr. Cushing found out about the love canal." We all freaked out. We all freaked out. Then you yelled, "Psych!" Does that sound like something I would do?
Absolutely.
And Mrs. Short was like, "Why did everyone freak out? Clearly, this is a real thing. What's going on?" So I guess in essence, I did rat out the love canal.
Did she put a stop to it?
Just never found out.
So, all elementary school.
Yes. All right. So I think it was the Snick over the Twick.
See, are you asking us if your vote is okay?
Yes.
Yes, your vote is okay. Snickers versus Twix is the matchup.
Yep. Snickers, definitely.
Probably the only holdout of the Twick.
No, I voted Twix.
Okay.
Oh. Nice.
All right.
See, did you see Karen's comment?
Whole Lot of Love doesn't seem like a John Wayne kind of song.
No. It doesn't.
But it is a Sia Griffin song.
Apparently
Very
so.
much does.
All right. Moving on.
No, M&M's. You're lagging, my dear. M&M's and Kit Kat was already. M&M won that, and now we're on to Snickers and versus Twix.
And Snickers ran away with it.
Both have been adjudicated.
Yes. So now it's the match. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty.
And the die. Are we going to finish it now, or are we going to wait? I mean, are we going to do a game tonight?
We are doing a game.
So it's up to you guys. You want to do one more round, or do you want to?
How many more rounds do we have?
Well, it would be we have 2 left in each region.
So we're looking at basically two. So we're in the finals of each region then.
Right.
So you got finals of each region, then the final 4, and then the final 2. So you
Yeah.
basically got 3 rounds, but shouldn't take that long. I say go ahead.
Yep.
Okay.
We've already opined about it. Now it's just deciding what we want.
Agreed.
Apologies for my yapper schnoodling dogs. Ooh, is Todd still there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell
All
if you
right,
were
so
frozen.
back to the gas station staple. We have Doritos versus Oreos.
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 It's a tough one for me. Mainly because now, if you would corner me and say it has to be like a certain type of Dorito. By the way, I want to try the hot mustard Doritos. I just saw those the other day. What is it with you and your boring Dorito taste, Brady?
I don't know. I'm just not mustard.
Mustard.
I'm going Dorito. I got to go Dorito. I think there's more variety in Doritos. I can eat more Doritos than I can Oreos.
True.
You're right, Josh. Josh and I, we would do well on a road trip together. We would pretty much just agree on all the snacks. The sweet chili Doritos are the best thing going right now. Gary, yes, you can have golden.
Golden Oreos. I like me some golden Oreos.
All right. How's it going?
To me, a golden Oreo is the. Put it this way, I think a regular Oreo stands out by far over all other chocolate sandwich cookies, but I don't think the golden Oreo stands out that much ahead of just your run of the mill golden cookies. You guys still with me, or are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the matchup is Oreos versus Doritos. I almost said Coke. Doritos versus Oreos. I didn't know who was frozen there or what. And you guys were still for like 5 minutes. I didn't know who was
5
frozen.
minutes.
Apparently, I froze for Celia. So yeah.
So Josh's wife likes barbecue Doritos. Can't say I've ever had barbecue Doritos.
No. I have. Are they mesquite?
Mesquite.
Mesquite. Tickle Jim. Well, Eric, I agree. I've never seen barbecue Doritos. I'm surprised I haven't, because you would think that would have been one of the first few flavors of Doritos they made after the regular.
Honestly, I think I've only had the Cool Ranch Doritos. That's about as far off the reservations I've gone.
Really?
Because it's not a go-to for me. I just don't. A nacho chip is just not my go-to.
Have you ever put Doritos on a sandwich, like a lunch meat sandwich?
No.
Smashed it down. It's nice. It kind of takes the place of cheese if you don't have cheese.
I've done that with potato chips.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bologna and potato chips growing up was mustard.
I used to eat bologna as a little kid, but I don't know why I lost my taste for bologna. I don't even like the smell of it now.
I didn't lose my taste for it. I didn't lose my taste for it. It just became one of those unhealthy lunch meats.
Yeah.
So it kind of got knocked down to the bottom at some point when I was eating healthy, and I just haven't bought it since. Even when I'm not eating healthy, I don't eat bologna.
Well, they say very few lunch meats are healthy. So.
Right. Well, but like if you notice in the last 15 years or so, they've come out with all the, none of the nitrates and all that stuff. They have all the healthier lunch meats, and they haven't made a bologna version. So that tells me they must not be able to do anything with it to make it healthy.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The black bag. I've never seen them.
All right.
Gotta look those up.
No. So Brady, you said Oreos,
I did say Oreos.
as did I. Todd said Doritos.
Yeah, they are. She's not that I doubted it, but yeah, they are sweet and tangy barbecue flavored Doritos.
Interesting.
So Josh's Doritos vote makes it 2-2. Mama Liming's Oreo vote makes it 3-2 Oreos. Are we taking Amber's vote too? Barbecue
sure.
Doritos.
If she's there, and yeah.
She must be there unless she picked up the phone to call him and say, "You better say barbecue." So yeah, we'll take her vote.
Could have been a text. Chris, I didn't know they made pickle Doritos either. I knew they had pickle chips. Do they call those Poritos or Picklitos?
Picklitos.
Pickeritos.
So it's 3-3. Celia's vote for Doritos makes it 4-3 Doritos.
Did I vote? Yeah, I voted Doritos.
Yeah, 5-3 Doritos.
Karen, I was going to ask you if John Waite looked as good with his shirt off as Rick Springfield. There's no reason
She said no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a straight man, but Rick Springfield at what, 77 years old?
Yeah.
With a six-pack is crazy.
You know, but I listen to a lot of Rick Springfield. I especially like the medley with I think 6 different songs in the medley. But I'm thinking 70 whatever years old, singing about some of the things he sings about in those songs would, if you really think about it, is just odd.
Couldn't that go with a lot of artists?
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Like you got the.
I don't know why I was just thinking about it, listening to Rick Springfield, but
right, you got the, of course, Winger.
Yeah, right.
Which I will say, if you see Winger live, he at least acknowledges it and jokes about it, and usually he throws in an older age each time he gets to it. Like it starts out like she's only 43, and then she's only 55 or whatever, and she's only.
That's funny. Tangy pickle Doritos.
What? Oh, okay. I see what you're reading.
I think
Chris,
Doritos is.
Nope. I was in a good mood, Chris. Now you got me thinking of Dickie Marks. Oh my gosh.
Marks being the operative term there.
What a tool bag.
I think Doritos wins this.
Yeah, I think so.
Very, very true, Karen. But like I said, he does at least acknowledge that and say that he says the 40, he changes to 43, but so I've seen him go up in the age each time too. What other songs are that way? I'm trying to think of other songs that.
Oh, there are a lot of songs that way.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them are as open about it.
Right.
I think Into the Night is probably the creepiest one. She's just 16 years old. It's like, yeah. And the video is even creepier.
Yeah. There's some comedian. I can't think of what his name is, but he's on the College Humor website. But he was on one of the talk show, and he was talking about Bruce Springsteen's "Hey little girl, is your daddy home?" Like the words of that are pretty creepy too.
Yeah.
It's Springsteen. So what do you figure? Did Doritos win?
It did.
Doritos won.
All right. Next up in the drink section. Coke versus Gatorade.
Coke.
Two different uses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody drinks a Jack and Gatorade.
Be a good idea though. kind of
Well,
preventative.
because you dehydrate yourself and hydrate yourself all in the same drink, on the same sip.
Should cancel out each other.
I swear, it's like Say and I are sharing a wavelength. It's creepy sometimes.
But since Coke can't be a Pepsi, because Pepsi obviously was in the bracket earlier,
right?
And Coke, Pepsi could not be Diet Mountain Dew, because that's my go-to soft drink regardless. I would have to say I would more likely buy a Gatorade than a Coke. So Gatorade would be my choice.
So, are you still a Diet Mountain Dew? I know you used to always be a Diet Mountain. Has there not been other options that have come out since then that to knock Diet Mountain Dew down on the?
Nope.
Because I find Diet Mountain Dew to be extremely sweet.
That's probably why I like it. But
I like the Starry. I like the Starry Zero much
well, I
better
love
than Diet Mountain
Starry, obviously, since
Yeah.
I'm sitting here drinking it. But
no problem, Savannah. Hey, John, Savannah. Josh is really having a problem with Coke. But Josh, I'm going to be honest, man. If we dropped everything, Eric's popping another. He's the freaking norm of the podcast.
Norm.
Yeah, if we stopped everything that went woke, we wouldn't be able to eat, drink, listen, watch anything though. So, but I agree, it's hard. I'm sure Pepsi's woke as well. I know they are. Gatorade. Again, I seldom reach for a Gatorade. I need to more often, especially at shows, especially at summer shows. I mean, because there's some times where it's just like water. I have a hard time drinking water at shows. Does Gatorade make you pee as much as water?
Not that anybody wants to know this. Here's what I could tell you about guzzling a big old thing of Gatorade. It makes you have to pee violently, but it holds off. It's not instantaneous. It seems like it festers for a while, and then you just basically laser cut the porcelain. It packs a punch.
Do you honestly think that a drink can make you urinate with more force?
I'm sticking with it, man. It just maybe could be the volume of the Gatorade I drank at once because I was thirsty, but the old onion was screaming, man.
Everybody knows it's got a urethra widener in it.
But again, like the water fountain situation, I think it would have to be a urethra narrower, wouldn't it?
Well, right, to make PSI. Now volume.
Yeah, volume.
A widener.
Yes.
But the reason I don't drink water at shows as much as I should is because I can't be going and peeing every other song. So I probably should drink more Gatorade. But I got to go Coke only because I've never been like, hey, I'm going to get me a big old fat cheeseburger, some fries, and a Gatorade. Like, you know what I mean? Gatorade doesn't play nicely with food as much as Coke does.
Well, but you're not saying that on a road trip.
You're right.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I have a little issue with Coke. We know why Josh has an issue with Coke, but my issue with Coke is this bloodless coup they pulled in Mount Orab, and you can't find Pepsi anywhere. I'm a little salty about that, but again, Gatorade is what I would buy on a road trip before I would buy a Coke.
You would buy Gatorade before a Coke?
Yes, I would.
Interesting.
Lime cucumber Gatorade, is that a thing?
You know it is. The man wouldn't say it if it wasn't.
I was going to say, that man doesn't speak unless it's the gospel.
Yeah. The historian has a unique relationship with pickles and cucumbers.
with green vegetables. Green elongated vegetables.
Find every variation of pickle cucumber out there.
When he gets the spring zucchini slice, I'll be...
See, I can see it now. Yeah, apparently your Coke can caused my dog to stand at attention when she was listening. Get this picture. Which is odd because she doesn't get anything out of a can. So you're right, James. There probably are people that are drinking Gatorade and whiskey.
True that. All right. So I'm thinking. I don't know though. I was gonna say I'm thinking Coke maybe wins this, but you two said Coke, correct?
Correct.
Let's see. Samantha said Gatorade, so that makes it 2-2. John also said Gatorade, 3-2. Josh, 4-2 Gatorade, solely on political means. Historian says Gatorade, 5-2, but then there are 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we may have a tie.
I know my mother would vote Coke. She detests Gatorade. She thinks it tastes like watered down drink or flat.
I do know this.
There you go.
Celia likes the little powder Gatorade Zero things. And this weekend when we were out of town, we split one in a bottle of water, and it was absolute crap. So I will say, like the level you get of that, like a whole packet is okay, but a half a packet, which shows you how fine of a line it teeters of sweet enough versus. To me, it tasted like licking, like just salt, like salt. It's just salty.
Have you ever had one of those liquid IV packets? It's called like liquid IV, and it's like one of those powdered things. I think it's got a salty finish.
Yeah, well, we got some. Celia had some Pedialyte for one of our shows we were playing here recently, where there was during the heat advisory, and I mean, it was just like licking the back of your hand after sweaty. It was just salt.
Salt lick.
Yeah, felt like a deer.
So Mama Liming and the 2 brown votes put Coke over the top, I believe.
Yes. Next matchup.
All right, so Coke wins. We have chicken sandwich versus Frosty.
Chicken sandwich. For all the reasons stated previously. What's that?
Sounded like a cauldron.
It was my microphone boom.
Oh.
Shammy.
Don't you recognize the Sammy?
I don't know. This is tough. Looks like chicken sandwiches run away with it anyway, but
yeah,
I'll say Frosty as a protest vote.
I stand by my earlier take that a Frosty is not a road trip snack.
Well, see, I don't think a chicken sandwich is a snack either. I think it's a meal.
Probably not. Yeah, unless it's a slider.
That's my whole thing. You know, I'm thinking of sustenance, not enjoyment.
Well, like all of our, we don't think there's much thought put into these tournaments, but they all, you can overthink them or underthink them.
I think we should set up our own bracket of something at some point, because I think whoever sets up these brackets is crap. I think they're trying to do
Imagine
alive.
I know a good time to do that.
Yes, July 27th.
Or November 30th.
Correct. We got my Frosty vote, Gary, and Mama Liming say Frosty.
So
whatever
John,
flavor you want, John.
Yeah, whatever flavor you'd like.
In chicken sandwich are all the other votes.
Yeah, I think chicken sandwich runs away with this.
All right. Chicken sandwich. Last matchup. M&M versus Snickers.
M&M's.
M&M's.
But
Rambling on a road trip, would you rather have M&M's or Snickers?
Snickers.
a Snickers is
Pandaloo
heartier.
with the Snickers.
Snickers is heartier. It satisfies.
It makes you not turn into Betty White.
God rest her soul.
Oh, she was a treasure.
Peanut butter M&M's.
Always. But Eric, you got to remember, you can also change your Snickers to the peanut butter squaws.
True that.
And that's tough.
That is tough. I still say M&M's.
Yeah, me too. For a snack,
Yeah.
you don't have to touch. Okay, so we all know that M&Ms melt in your mouth, not in your hands, but the Snicker squaws melt in your hands.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Before they get to your moot.
your mouth in your throat.
Looks like M&M's is running away with this.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. All right, we have our final four. No?
Ooh.
Yes. We have our final four. Should we finish the final four next episode? Keep them waiting. Cliffhangers.
We can. It'd be like a mini topic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do a mini topic next time.
All right, then.
Chris has a sunflower or a vote. A write-in vote. Pickle flavored seeds, of course. The man likes his pickles.
He does.
Chris, have I got some pickles for you, my friend? If I have any left on July 27th, maybe I'll bring you. If you go to Heaven Hill Distillery, and it's Larceny brand, which Larceny is one of Heaven Hill's. It's a weeded bourbon. They have their own pickles out. They're a peppered pickle. Easily the best pickle I've ever eaten.
Peter Piper pepper pickles.
But they are very, very good. You can get them online, but the shipping is about as much as the bottle to get them.
Yeah.
In.
All right. So sunflower seeds. Everyone knows I'm a baseball guy, and sunflower seeds and baseball are kind of a hand-in-hand sort of thing, but I can't do sunflower seeds. Too much work for the return, and I cannot manipulate the hulling out of the sunflower seed.
Eric's not like cockatiel like with his
Yeah,
it out.
No, can't do it. Now the players love them. They have all these different kinds and flavors, but I can't.
My daughter's softball team, they were comparing and swapping flavors of sunflower seed. I'm like, what am I watching here? But
of course, all these turf fields is really cut into the sunflower seed consumption, because you're not allowed to have sunflower seeds on turf fields.
Can you have the seed or the shellless ones?
If they see any semblance of a seed around, they
real turf or artificial turf?
Artificial turf.
Pansies.
You don't call real turf turf. You
I was
call
going to
real
say,
turf
is there
grass.
such thing as real turf? What about
There's
Copenhagen?
Astro turf.
What about Copenhagen? Can you have that?
No, you can't. For many reasons. Not even the coaches. Although some do.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who was the NFL coach? Who was the NFL coach a couple years ago that got busted? Like, well, not really busted, but like you could see him on the sideline putting chaw in.
Was it Dan Campbell?
I think it was.
Might have been Dan Campbell, yeah.
So he definitely seems like a chaw kind of guy. All right. So are we
So before
off on the game now?
Before we do the game, should we talk about our announcements?
Yeah.
We can.
Well, we got him in the middle.
All right.
All right. So announcement number 1 has been put out on Facebooks already. So check our Facebook page for the event, the Live at 5. I came up with that myself. I hope you two don't mind. I just kind of made an executive decision, but
No, it's got a double entendre.
it does have a double entendre. 5 o'clock on July 27th. we are celebrating our 5th anniversary of our podcast. So live at 5. There's the double entendre right there. So Sons of Toil Brewing, 5 o'clock again on July 27th, which is a Sunday, which seemed to work out for us pretty well last time. We had it on a Sunday, and I think that's probably in the afternoon or early evening, probably where people are most available, I think, at least kind of that way in my life. But so yeah, put it down in your calendar, go to our Facebook event posting there and say that you're interested or coming, hopefully, and we'll have another live event for you.
Yeah, and real quick, just to kind of talk a little bit about our live events. Well, we've had one. And Savannah knows. Savannah was there, and a few other people I know that our listeners were there. But I think a lot of our listeners have kind of picked up after our first live event we did. And if you're kind of wondering what it's like, it was a lot of fun. And I'm not just saying that from our perspective. We were told from a lot of people, and including people of all ages, that it was fun. And kind of what we do for that is the same thing we do here, except I will say we probably put a little more planning into it. Not that we have a script or we don't plan what we're going to say, but we do plan, like we do put a little more thought into our topics. And you heard earlier when Celia had the idea of doing the live taste test between the 3 different flavor Oreos. I mean, stuff like that. So it'll be a lot of fun. But as most any live event, it will not be near as fun if you aren't there.
Correct.
If it's just the 3 of us sitting outside at Sons of Toil talking to each other, we'll have fun, but it's much, the more people there, the more fun it is. So it'd be a nice little, and all of us, 3 of us being educators, for us, it's kind of an end of the summer, as we get close to August. So we definitely want you to come out. It'll be a good time. There'll be crowd participation. There'll be obviously the delicious drinks you can buy there, food you can buy,
Party tricks.
Yeah.
Party favors.
Fairbairn and his party favors.
Actually, I don't know. Back when we had our first one, I'm not sure Sons of Toil had food at that point in time. But
I don't think they did. Yeah,
there was a food truck there,
or food trucks, but I don't know there was one there the night we did it, because I don't think they usually had them on the Sundays when we were there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it had to be a good time. So that is announcement number 1. So a 5-year, we thought it's 5 years. It's our 5-year anniversary show. So we can't just celebrate small time. We got to celebrate big time. So that is why, Brady,
we are going to be doing another live event, different completely. This is going to be on November 30th at Sardinia Perk, and we are going to be having a holiday play it by ear extravaganza. Now, we've had holiday themed shows before,
which have been from audience. They've been some of the favorites, some of our holiday. Who knows? We might have a live fruitcake tasting for that. I might have Eric and Brady taste some fruitcake.
Have to toss out the Yule lads for being naughty.
Yeah. So
go
ahead.
So just back to our July 27th one, just to give you an indication, if you were not there, one of the things we did, we had a Family Feud game with Brady and Todd split, and then had 4 other people from the audience as part of their team, and we played a game of Family Feud. Can't remember. Did you guys remember what else we did there?
We can't forget. We can't forget that. And I'm assuming he might make another appearance at one of the 2 live episodes, and that is the Buttle the Cat. We did a round of live Am I the Asshole?
Yes, correct.
And we had, I think Buttle is still behind Todd. I don't know if he's still there, but we have one of our fan placards where it had the slash on it, like not the ANUs, and then Buttle the Cat.
Got Buttle the Cat.
Oh, there
behind
it is.
me.
So basically the way it went is I read a Am I the Asshole? And the audience everybody in the audience got one of these placards, and they got to vote not the asshole or the asshole.
Ah,
I can't imagine that Butto won't make an appearance at one of the two, if not both, of the live.
we got to work Randy the Cane Toad into it too.
Can't believe I forgot that. That was good.
I can't remember what else we did though. I know we did the Family Feud. We did the Am I the Asshole? I think we just at that point it was still pretty new. I mean, so I think we just kind of did a little best of type conversation.
And as far as this one goes, we're obviously going heavy into the audience participation part again. One of the things we've talked about will allow you to participate using your phone or a device of some sort. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that for when you're driving down the road, Gary, and you can determine if someone...
He could have a twinkle tush on his tailpipe.
Speaking of Gary, Gary, longtime listener, and chimes in with his wit and obviously his knowledge, and always makes it a good time. Gary, by the way, Gary Troutman is the owner of our location for our 5-year anniversary live podcast at the Daily Perk in Sardinia, Ohio, which is nice because I have a feeling since it's going to be in Sardinia, there's going to be a lot of nostalgia, a lot of Sardinia, and maybe even some Sardinia All-Stars will be in the audience. So that we're looking forward to that too. And the reason we decided to do 2 is because it's our 5th year. We also thought it would be nice to have a nice warm outside one and then a cozy warm inside one during the colder months, and
drink the hot drinks and stylings of the Perk.
Gary and his crew will serve you up some nice hot drinks, and we'll work out all the details. But we did want to get those out there so you can mark your calendars. We have a Facebook event for the July 27th. I assume that one of us will make haste and make a November 30th. And so make sure you mark yourself as interested in both of those. And you don't have to say now that you're going, but I do know this just from the band stuff. If you mark that you're interested, you might not know this. If you mark that you're interested, first off, we don't look at it and say, yes, they're coming. We know that things come up. We know that, but it does give you updates. It gives you calendar updates. If you say you're interested, it'll reminders, I should say, not updates, but reminders of the events. So you should always pick interested in an event that you would even consider going to, and you'll get those reminders as we get closer to each of them.
And also, you get any updates that as far as what we put out on the event page,
right?
And they would pop up on your feed. So, and it will be in the new Sons of Toil area that the pavilion they just built, and figured that would be, it's open sided, so it'd be a little bit more cool than the tent. Yeah, then the tent tends to get a little warm because of the closed sides.
And we haven't talked a lot about this, but just throwing it out. And this is where, we want to make our listeners happy. But how many of you guys would be interested in merch? If we had a new batch of shirts or possibly hats or something like that. Merch. For Fairbairn's marriage.
I think there was, sorry, Brady, I think there was a Q&A, Celia. And Gary's comment. Brady would love that, Gary. I say we have a fruitcake contest, a fruitcake making contest.
Well, if we're having casseroles made, my wife is a casserole queen. I'm sure she'd be in on that.
It actually would be a good idea. And Brady loves casseroles.
This is how we casserole.
Sorry, Brady. What were you saying there?
Oh, just about the merch.
Yeah.
So,
are we thinking like a 5-year anniversary merch? 5-year anniversary shirt. By the way, have a new vinyl countdown hats. So if we ever decide we want to get some hats,
yes,
throw me off because like a new trend is putting the logo to the side, to one of the sides of these hats that have the middle. It's taking me a little bit to get used to. It's a little.
That's why for Christmas our superintendent got us these cool hats, and it's like that where the logo's off center. and I've worn it a couple times, but I love the hat, but it bothers me on this podcast because I feel like I need to line
Well,
it
it's
up.
off center no matter what because it's
Yeah.
just on the opposite side. But yeah, it's just a different take on it. But anyway, yeah, it would be cool to get some. Actually, they don't have to mention 5-year anniversary. I mean, we can do. It would be cool to get some 5-year anniversary shirts for the people that come.
Yep.
To mark that day, this year is special. But
Yeah.
Might even do some voting. We could put out some designs and see which ones you guys like the best.
we could get for at least for the winter one. I came to the 5-year Play It by Ear podcast, and all I got was this casserole.
Yes. Or Krampus left me this shirt.
Yeah, we have all kinds of. Obviously, we'll get busy planning it. We're actually was today July 1st, so we're getting close to the first one, and then we'll have obviously more time to do the second one. So, but we think you should come to both of them because we want to see you at both of them and to celebrate with us. Because to be honest with you guys, there's not much of a podcast without you guys. So
without y'all.
Indeed. All righty.
Dang.
We still doing a game?
Been a while. Oh yeah.
Wow.
All right. The game, you will need paper.
Well, luckily I came prepared this time because I said we haven't done a game in a while, and if I don't have a legal pad,
Brady's he's got a fabric sheet there to dry on to walk. I can't talk. A fabric sheet to write on is what I was trying to say.
Fabric sheets to cry on.
All right. So the game is called Same, but Different. We played it before. And what you have is you will have two statements, yes, thank you for that. Two scenarios, if you will. A safe scenario and a risque scenario. You are to write down statements you could make in each scenario.
Oh.
So to give you a practice round here, or just a for instance. Okay, so something you can say while watching your house burn down and to a creepy girl hitting on you.
Are we going for good or is this a sample?
So this is a sample.
Okay.
I was just showing you what the scenarios are. So that's just what you'll be looking at, something very similar to that. All right, so the idea here is you will get a period of time. You will write down everything that you can come up with, and then me and the audience, hopefully the audience will vote as well, as to who comes up with the best statements.
Okay.
Are we ready?
I think so.
Ready.
All right. Same, but different. We can go risque. We can't go too risque.
See, this would be a good time to put all you children under 14 to go watch some YouTube before bed. That's not us.
It's gonna be a lot of choices here in the.
But while he's looking, Chris, thanks. We're pumped for it as well. Hopefully, we can see the historian out at both live shows.
Golly, these are really risque.
Are we going to have to call an audible and go with something else?
Okay, here we go. All right. Something you can say after waking up in a hospital bed and at Hooters or Twin Peaks, whichever your choice is. Something you can say after waking up in a hospital bed and at Hooters. All right, so again, the basis of the game, our co-host will write down statements they can make in each situation, and the situations are something you can say after waking up in a hospital bed and at Hooters. We'll give you a little time here. But again, I'll keep reminding you, make sure you go to our page. I've invited a lot of people already. I think Brady's invited some people. I don't know if Todd's invited people yet or not, but I see a lot of names.
Oh, I know. I have, yeah. Say you invited like 600 and some the other day. But I only had like 30 at the time that I hadn't invited. And I invited.
Okay. And I hadn't looked today, so. But yeah, if you've gotten your invite, go ahead and, like Todd said, just at least say you're maybe interested, if you are indeed interested. And you'll get those reminders. All right, gentlemen.
Okay.
5 seconds.
I got 2.
Time. Todd.
Okay. Something. Will you repeat the?
Something you can say after waking up in a hospital bed or at Hooters.
Is that barbecue sauce in my catheter bag?
You have a catheter bag on in Hooters.
Maybe.
All right. Was that the only one you had?
We're not supposed to do more than one?
Yeah. You can do as many as you want. It's the totality. It's the totality of the
I only got 2. So
okay.
do you want me to do one, or does Todd do both? Or should we go back and forth?
Well, Todd only had one. Right?
I only had one. I thought we were only supposed to. I thought the whole point was to have one sentence that worked for both.
Okay.
Isn't it? Well, I had said do as many as you want.
Okay, got you. I got you. I only had. That's the one I could think of anyway.
All right, Brady, pick your best one. Just do one this time.
Okay. Ooh, you're here for my sponge bath?
All right, audience. Todd, is that barbecue sauce in my catheter, or Brady's, ooh, you're here for my sponge bath? Now, Gary had some input. How did I get here to the wife when she shows up? That's a good one. All right, audience. Who's the winner? Brady or Todd? I know what I say.
I'm not saying that mine won't get you arrested, but
Savannah voted Todd.
Really? Can I?
Brady says surprisingly.
I'm sorry. I thought we were
No,
going.
No, I wasn't. I was like, really?
In dog beers only, too. Nice one, Jim. Brady. Anybody else? Anybody else?
It's a tie.
It's not a tie. I'm the tiebreaker. I get a vote too.
Tiebreaker.
Eric is the JD Vance in this game.
I am. My vote is Brady.
Can I tell you my other one? It was really dumb.
Yeah.
I need a bedpan.
I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't have been as bad about losing to that one because that one was better than your first one.
Come on.
It was.
So you could say it to the nurse, and then you could say it to the anyway.
I like that one. I need a bedpan. That was funny. I'm going for shock value, folks. That's what I go for.
All right. So
is it 1 point each? Is that how we do it?
It is 1 point each.
I
play to 5.
All right.
All right. So Brady 1, Todd nothing. All right. Next one. Again, it could be several choices here before. Okay, I picked a good one on the first one. I don't know how many of these you've been to, but all right. Something you can say to your dog that just attacked a stranger and at a rave. Again, I don't know how many of those you've been to. I don't think I've ever been to a rave, but something you can say to your dog that just attacked a stranger and at a rave or at a party, I guess, a big party, whatever, with loud music and such. I think that's what a rave is.
Yeah.
I guess I've never been to one.
Electronic music, usually.
Yeah. Not really in our age group, I don't think. Something you can say to your dog that just attacked a stranger and at a rave. All right, gentlemen. 10 seconds.
I'm struggling.
Time. All right. So something you can say to your dog that just attacked a stranger and at a rave or a party with loud electronic music, whatever you want to call it. We'll go with Brady first.
Mine is so lame. I'm embarrassed I even have to read this out loud. Too much, man. You did too much.
Okay.
Because raves are usually associated with Molly and X and Flake and X
Toot.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Shrooms.
All right, Todd.
I have two. Do I have to pick one or?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, you can read both of yours.
Okay.
Since we
I have
established
two.
the rules.
My first one. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. My second one. No, I don't want to see your lipstick.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right. Any votes from the audience?
We could skip that. I conceded to Todd. I'm calling him my concession speech on that one.
All right. I would say Todd.
Yeah.
If all our voters went away.
Did we lose everybody? Are they frightened?
Hope not. Why don't we play best of three? How about that?
Okay.
It's a little consumption of time. So 1-1. All right. Next scenario. All right. Something you can say. Oh, was there a vote? I was free. I never know how to judge the lag time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim says Todd. All right. Next scenario. Something you can say as a bouncer. Now there's your wife voted for you too, Todd.
Well, I heard the first part.
Something.
It's...
Oh, because I haven't gotten to the second part.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
something you can say as a bouncer and in hell. Something you can say as a bouncer and in hell. Now, to be fair, the actual game, if you were to play it with as the board game, they give you 3 minutes. That's a lot of time for us to take. So I'm giving you a minute, but anywho. So again, something you can say as a bouncer and in hell. Where I chose this game, it's probably fairly difficult, it seems. All right, 15 seconds. Something you can say as a bouncer and in hell. Time.
Okay.
Todd, you're first this time.
Tonight's headliner is Satan's balls.
You kind of broke up there. Will you say that again?
Tonight's headliner is Satan's balls.
Okay. Is that your only one?
It's a metal band.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, it's not, but I made up. That sounds like a name
okay.
for a metal band.
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually a metal band. All right, Brady, your Dragon Punch.
Yeah, Donkey Punch was out. Sorry.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it.
All right. So if you could imagine the bouncer saying this to somebody trying to get up close to the stage, and the saying is, "Don't you wish you could get up there?"
Mm-hmm.
See what I did
Okay.
there?
I did.
I see what you did there. Do you have any others?
Let me explain mine. He got to explain his, so I'm going to explain mine. So the bouncer is telling the person wanting to get into the club that the band playing tonight is called Satan's Balls.
All right.
Hell is a lot of Satan's balls because he's just walking around with them out.
I don't know
Is
if
that
he
what
would
you
do that or
envision?
not.
Hell is
I think
Well,
he would
it's either
burn
the
them.
Starlight, it's either a public swimming pool or that. That's my idea of hell.
Yeah. All right. My other two were, you were about to see the devil. A bouncer getting ready to thrash somebody angrily.
okay.
And get out. It's too hot. Which was lame.
Yeah, that was definitely the lamest of your three.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But don't you wish you could get up there? That's pretty good.
It's not bad. Now, if I'd actually heard of a band called Satan's Balls,
The idea is creativity. I made up a band in my answer.
so would Satan's Balls be thrash metal or?
Would the other headliner be Methatesticles?
All right, Brady or Todd?
It would be doo-wop.
Is there
Brady
any
or Todd?
votes?
Brady or Todd? Again, I'm bad at judging the lag. I mean, I'll go and award points, and then people will vote after the fact.
Yeah.
I guess I can change the score if people vote after the fact.
True. I'm all right with that. Even though it could be soul crushing, I'm okay with it.
Like I said, if if there were actually a Satan's Balls band, I would find it probably a little more humorous.
Oh, James. Et tu, Jaimes?
But Jim says Todd.
Yeah.
I have no problem losing. I have a problem losing because I didn't use a real band. I thought the idea was to make up a funny answer. Okay, make it Genesis. I don't know. Phil Collins and his.
Actually, in hell, I think it'd be Maroon 5.
Yeah, that would be a band in hell.
Yeah.
No, the idea is to tickle my fancy with your answer. Is the idea?
No, I know. I don't. I have no. If you said it was
Consider
the
your
lamest
fancy
answer
tickled.
ever, I would not be offended. What I'm offended by is you said I didn't use a real band. I couldn't tie a real band to hell and a bouncer. I'm gonna look up and see if there's a band called Satan's Balls.
Well, right now,
But I have the only vote.
You do. And I will side with the audience. I'll do that.
okay.
I'm gonna crack up if there's an actual band named that. Doesn't look like it.
Copyright it now. Well, that
Well, we
new
will-
merch live on tour.
Shaking Satan's Balls live. Apparently, there's a.
is that the name of a band?
I'm looking here. No, there's a band called The Devils, and they have a song called "Shaking Satan's Balls." I'm going to go ahead and assume that's not a very wholesome band.
No. No, you could change your answer. Say now headlining tonight, the Devils.
Yes,
Well,
play
good.
and their hit song "Shaking Satan's."
Shaking Satan's
Well, it could be
But
like
that wouldn't
Striper.
That wouldn't
Like-
play into something that you would that actual Satan himself will be showing off.
Well, you could.
Striper
you
had
could
to hell
say,
with the devil.
True.
This could be shaking Satan's.
To hell with the devil's balls.
Yeah.
you could say now headlining tonight, the Devils, and you'll see shaking Satan's balls.
That should be that should be part of the game. Is you have to try to fix our answers to make them better.
Editor mode. Todd got that one. Dang it.
All right.
With one
So
vote.
He's in the
With one
Bairn.
vote.
He's in the Bairn.
Todd could win. Well, there's another vote coming in.
No,
For
it's
Striper
just
2.0.
2.0.
Oh. All right. Well, here we go again through the risky cards.
Well, the problem is, even when you have a clean one, the answers are hard to not be risky.
True. All right.
Uh-oh.
I'll go with this one. Something you can say while dissecting a cat in biology class.
Oh my! Wow.
That's the safe card. and when breastfeeding.
God, my answer I can't even begin to say.
No, not at all. Eric's setting us up here.
I'm going to give you
No,
what my
the
answer
challenge,
would be.
the challenge is to keep it TV 14.
Skinning a cat or breastfeeding. Is that what you said?
Dissecting a cat in biology class. Yeah.
You got to skin it to dissect it.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
Something you
that's
can
not
say
my
when
real
di-
answer, gentlemen. But
While dissecting a cat in biology class and when breastfeeding. Something you can say while dissecting a cat in biology class and when breastfeeding. Do, 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 do.
You read my answer, Eric?
No,
Oh.
no, I read Jim Heron's answer. I did just read your answer too. Uh, 20 seconds. You guys are having a tough time beating the audience. Time.
God.
Brady, what's your answer?
How did that get in there?
Okay. Todd.
Here's the thing. I go up against Brady, and Brady always takes the wholesome route and leaves me to the only chance I have is to go for the
Sitting in
unwholesome
your
route.
pool of
And
filth.
it makes people think I'm filthy, and I'm not. I'm a good, clean person. All right, my first one. I have two. My first one, folks. One drank milk, the other gave milk. Either way, don't mind the whiskers.
Winner.
And my second one, simply meow.
Yeah. Oh.
Got right there, man.
So Jim with the classic tough titty said the kitty, but the milk's still good.
Wouldn't that be tough kits? Or said the kits?
Also said it tends to be leaking a bit.
Oh my.
Jim.
Josh says channel your Super Troopers comments on this one.
That's why I just said got right there, man. Did you just say man?
So Brady or Todd, audience, those of you who are voting.
Mine was pretty good, but God, I feel like Todd got that one.
I would agree. See, give the audience a few more seconds here. And again, just a reminder, while we're waiting here a little bit, go to your Facebook page or our Facebook page, find our event, say you're interested. You can get some updates on our live event on the 27th of July. Jim with the Todd vote coming in.
Can I add one more thing about that? Guys, we're up to 966 likes. We need 44 more likes to get to 1,000. If you haven't hit that like, please do. That'll get us to the millennial stage.
And also, if you have not shared with all of your friends, please do so.
Yeah, definitely. I promise.
I was surprised that
somebody's out there that hasn't done that 3-click. Like it's like you click on the page, you click the 3 dots, you click the box that says invite all, and you hit send. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. All right. So I think we'll give this one to Todd. Todd is the wiener. All right. Good job, gentlemen. It was the first time we've had a game in a long time.
It's been a while.
It has been. You didn't make that one easy on us, Eric. Like I
I
said,
did.
the one I'd hate to see the ones that you threw away, but even the ones you picked, like, might have been safe to ask, but not always so safe to answer.
Well, have to tell you that in less polite company. The ones I threw away. All right. So that'll round out episode 191. Again, find us on Facebook, X, and Instagrams. Go find that event listing on Facebook and say you're interested for July 27th, 5 p.m. at Sons of Toil Brewing, live at 5. Play It By Ear Podcast live. Also find and watch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, Rumble, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app, and our two newest platforms, Kick and Trovo.
KIQUE.
TROVAUX. No, seriously. I'm not familiar with either one of those platforms, but we're on them now. So search us out if you are familiar with those platforms. Anything else for the good of the order, gentlemen?
I can't think of anything. Like Eric said, hit that interested button on the July 27th show, and then we'll get the November 30th one out there really soon as well. And I know for the November 30th one, we had to be really careful with Bengals games, and we want our audience to know that we took great care in making sure that it wasn't a Sunday that you would have to pick between a Bengals game and our live podcast. So, right, I think that week they play Thursday.
Yep.
They play Thanksgiving. I think that week.
Yep.
Yeah, it's when they play the Ravines.
So, no worry about the Bengals game.
All right. So catch us next week. Stay tuned. We'll let you know what day that'll be next week. And looking forward to July 27th. Share us on Facebook if you haven't, where we need to get to 1,000 likes. Todd, take us out.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.